determined, dependable. This is News 10 ABC.
News 10 ABC breaking into World News Now for the latest on the blizzard hitting the capital region. Good evening. I'm Lydia Colbeda.
And I'm John Gray. Steve Caparizzo, Tim Drawbridge been here all day, and they're going to be here all night watching this storm. And let's toss over to them right now and see what the latest is on this, guys. The worst is behind us, right?
Well, the worst for some of us behind us, but not necessarily everybody. We're just getting crushed in terms of snowfall now up in the Adirondacks. Everything, you know, all the attention was over us this afternoon, midday, and then everything shifted to the north and west, and now Hamilton, Herkimer counties literally getting dumped on 3-4 inches of snow per hour.
In some locations, too, as you make your way into western Fulton, western Montgomery, northwest Schoharie, and out toward Otsego counties, too. Just beat the band.
Well, you know, we're getting some unofficial reports. Sometimes it's hard for us to confirm things.
Yes.
And we don't want to jump to conclusions, but we're getting a lot of reports now, Tim, around 30 inches of snow. We'll go through a couple. You just mentioned one a second ago.
Sharon Springs, 31.
And we got North Blenheim, 33, Richmondville, 32. And again, you know, it's tough to measure now with the wind blowing.
All out in that area.
And Jefferson, said a report from Jefferson of 29 inches of snow. So there seems to be a pocket in here. And I also had a report from Skenevis, which is down along I-88, of 27, 28 inches. So there's a pocket in here of, it looks like, conservatively speaking, 25 to 30 inches of snow on the ground.
And what we were on last, looking at some certain winter weather parameters, the best snowflake growth right now is in this area, looking at the analysis.
And we're noticing a little bit of a flare up here again. You know, the snow comes up, it tapers off, and you go, okay, the storm's over. But, you know, the whole upper level dynamics, and as Tim mentioned, there's good snow growth to the west, and you still have the energy that has to rotate through. So we've actually see some more enhancement of the snow coming out of the Catskills, and that still has to swing on through at some point tonight.
And it's like I said with my school visit yesterday down in Athens, weather's not two-dimensional. It's north, south, east, west, but you got to go up and down where the airplanes fly too from the ground, and it's that third dimension with the upper level features right now. It's ringing everything out.
And you know, then we're going to deal with upslope snow, and you name it tomorrow. There's going to be a little, you know, this thing's going to linger all day tomorrow, though for most of us a little bit of light
This is why weather isn't like changing the channel on your TV.
Though some people want to probably switch the channel off of us. They're sick of us talking all day. All right, the storm right now, we just got the plot. We said Narragansett Bay to Buzzards Bay. It's right over Narragansett Bay, so the track ended up being a little bit closer.
Right, if not over Montauk, just offshore.
So that's where it is now, raining in Boston, Providence. Actually, Tim, could you do me a favor and turn off the cloud data again for me? So we're going to just highlight the moisture on this so you can see the size of the storm and the backlash coming in. So here's the back side of the storm continuing behind it. We'll zoom out just a little bit.
And look how it still extends out toward Petersboro in Ontario, Buffalo, down to Williamsport. This is all going to try to swing through.
And you can see that dry slot has now made its way up into New Hampshire. It was coming up through here, and then it kind of went by us, and now it's hooking up. So there's actually a dry slot of air kind of wrapping in around that circulation. So that's why we think some of this has to wrap through during the course of tonight, and that will boost the snowfall amounts even more.
All right, go to your next graphic. We got about 45 seconds before we have to toss out to Greg.
All right, we want to go to the snowfall since we've updated this. This is our total snowfall, and you know, it's hard to say how much additional because it varies so much. Let's figure around Albany an additional 3 to 5, 3 to 6 here. Albany's had about 17, 18, depending on some of the reports. This was the big change, Tim, to the west. 2 to 3 feet of snow, now well up into the Adirondacks.
Just FYI, a couple locations, Salem and Cambridge in Washington County, 11 and 13 inches of snow only. You guys will be catching up.
Yeah, a little bit of a shadow in here. All the way down to Hoosick Falls only had about 12 to 13. But you guys will play catch up a bit. And well over 2 feet of snow for the high elevations, the Berkshires, into the southern Green Mountains.
All right, I believe we're going to head out to News 10 ABC's Greg Pollock in the mobile storm tracker. Greg, where are you?
All right, right now we're in Bonanza. We're on Broadway where the snow is still falling. I mean, the roads right now, yeah, you know, the snow has compacted, and that's what usually happens after you get that big snowfall and the plows go on through. You know, you still have that layer of snow on the ground, but, you know, that deep layer of snow isn't there anymore, which is great news. You know, we still have the wind. We do have some wind gusts right now, upwards of 30, 35 miles per hour. On Broadway, you know, slow traffic. Even though the speed limit is actually only about 35 miles per hour on this road, people are going about 10 miles per hour below that. And we actually did come across an abandoned car earlier on Broadway, going towards the Rite Aid here on Broadway. We saw an abandoned car. So you might see that as people get stuck and they can't move. They just give up and people pick them up. So that's what we're seeing right now. So right now, I mean, still treacherous travel. It's a little bit better than before as the plows have caught up, but we're still seeing those snow-covered roadways all across the area. For now, we'll give you another live report coming up at 7 o'clock on Fox 23. Reporting now with Mobile Storm Tracker, sponsored by Curtis Lumber. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Greg. And do want to let everybody know at 7 o'clock, a special 1-hour edition on Fox 23, and much more than just the weather, how the weather is affecting things. We have breaking news of a large barn collapsed in Middleburg with about 100 cattle inside, that there are multiple crews on the way to the scene. Tim Lake and Elisa Streeter will have much more on that starting at 7 o'clock. Right now, we want to check in with Lindsay Nielsen.
She's over in Pittsfield, been there all day, and it was calm earlier, then the winds kicked up. Hi, Lindsay.
Hi, John. Still here, yes, out in the city of Pittsfield. I'm going to get out of the way here for these plows. You can see them coming through right now, doing a good job here, just trying to clear the roadways. They've been out here all day making those efforts, and they've been doing a really great job from what we've seen, considering that they've been keeping up with this enormous amount of snow that we have had here. Now, there was some people that have been walking around. We have seen some people out and about. Every time you think the wind's going to die down, though, it just comes right back, smacking you in the face. We did speak with the fire chief and the mayor and the police earlier today, and you know, there have been no updates as far as emergencies or anything like that, so that is good to hear. They did say, though, if the winds continue and they get worse and there could be power outages, if that happens, they said they have plans in place to set up shelters, so they are all set with that as well. We will continue to keep you updated here in Pittsfield Live. Lindsay Nielsen, News 10 ABC.
All right, from Berkshire County, we're going to head up on north to Glens Falls.
Carmen Chow is up there in Glens Falls. Last time we talked to her, she was actually in a restaurant that happens to be open tonight. Carmen.
Well, John, conditions are a little better compared to when I first got here around 1 this afternoon. You can see the flakes are much smaller. It's not coming down as hard, but at one point it was even coming down in the form of sleet. Now, as for road conditions, they are somewhat better. I've seen several snowplow trucks clear the roads and around businesses. And earlier when I patrolled residential neighborhoods, everyone was home. They're staying in and off the roads, which is what we've been encouraging people to do all day. Now, we've also seen many people come out of their homes at one point to dig themselves out. They were telling me they would rather shovel the bulk of it instead of letting it pile on. Now, overall, the storm is not over. It's still coming down at a good pace, and it could be a while until we could see this entire snowstorm blow over. Live in Glens Falls, Carmen Chow, News 10, ABC.
All right, and we see the plows active not just in Pittsfield, where Lindsay was, but as well active in Glens Falls, right behind Carmen there.
Yeah, we're going to shift on down to the city of Hudson right now, and Andrew is there.
News 10 ABC's Andrew Banis. You've been there all day as well, and Andrew, how have you seen the conditions change?
Yeah, you know what, guys? It started out and the snow was just coming straight down, piling up, but now that wind has been in high gear for the past few hours, and that's making it a whole different ball game out here. I've already seen some cars get stuck on all over the road here. This one actually right behind me here was stuck maybe a minute ago. They just got out. That's because these conditions are really, really bad with the wind and all the snow. Look at this car right in front of me. You can see how much snow is piled up here. Pretty soon you're not even going to be able to open this door. Whoever this car is, they're just going to be waiting for all this to thaw out, to dig out. Speaking of digging out, we showed you our friend here earlier today. How's it been going?
Doing great. Getting it done.
getting it done. He's been out here all day keeping the sidewalk clear. Really tough to do, but he's been dedicated to doing it. And here at News 10, we know a thing or two about dedication, right, and being dedicated. We'll be at Hudson all night, keeping an eye on these conditions. Back to you guys.
Andrew, and again, starting at 7 o'clock, Tim and Elisa live for an hour on Fox 23, because again, we've got reports of that barn collapse happening in Schoharie County. Right. Trishna Bengham's been here all day and evening as well. She's over at the alert desk. You got some breaking updates on the storm, right, Trishna?
That's right. We want to get to power outages really quick. Over by Burden Lake, if you click on this cadence, 127 customers affected there, so we are seeing some power outages. New York State DOT also making an update, and if you can get to that second tab cadence, we'll take this video up full here. They're obviously working on the plows, but travel bans in effect right now. Montgomery, Schenectady, parts of Rensselaer County. Governor now redeploying snow removal equipment throughout the state. A lot of that is going to be sent up here, upstate New York, because they thought they were going to get hit pretty hard downstate. Arrivals and departures over at the airport, looks like they still have to update some things. Most of these have been canceled, but some of the arrivals, one that I saw, these are, I think, the departures that have been canceled. If we go over to departures, if you scroll all the way down, one of the departures taking off for Atlanta tomorrow, 6:15 a.m. So we'll see if that leaves Albany. Also, Amtrak just sent out their modified schedule. I'm going to have much more of that on that update coming up at 7 o'clock. North Colony also sending out an update. They're going to be on a 2-hour delay tomorrow. As we get more of these, we'll send them and update you. Lydia, John.
All right, Trishna, and you're also going to have these alerts on Fox 23 for the next hour with Tim and Elisa.
Yep, Channel 8 if you're on Time Warner Cable. Click on over right now. We'll see you there.